envelopes you can export to Excel. So in case you want to do your own mail merges, you can do that.
Okay.
You can use predefined letters, or what I want to do in this case is I want to just print labels.
Okay.
Because it's a pre-printed newsletter. So here's my labels. So I put the label sheet in, click print, and I'm ready to go.
Okay. Okay. Good.
Right. Try something a little bit more complicated. So warranty letters, and this template basically just asks for date range. So this is the date range for when the warranty expires. And let me just, I think in order for me to get any data, I need to go 5 months or something like that. But typically what we recommend is that people, go 1 month at a time. So in the middle of the current month, you mail all the patients have a hearing aid where there's a warranty expiring next month, because that's who this would be relevant to.
Sure. So
once you have your list, and you can manage the list manually also, you can determine your output. And in this case, I already have a predefined letter that I use for my warranties. I'm going to have Steve sign that.
Okay, yeah.
I can put a little date on that. Now, basically, it's going to create a mail merge here. So, dear Mr. Ingson, according to our records, the warranty on your hearing aids, blah, 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 whatever they want this message to be. But the key here is that, in 20 seconds, you can have specific letters ready for those patients.
Okay.
Meeting that criteria.
Okay.
All right.
Just a quick question about the letters. Is there a limit to how many letters you can have stored within the system?
No, not really.
Okay.
No. So they can get messy, but they can. But also keep in mind with the export function to Excel, and they can very easily do their own mail merges.
Sure.
And with the new version of Word, the latest version of Word, they kind of improved the mail merge function, so it's not as complicated as it used to be. So down here you also have a bunch of other data fields that you can use for targeting specific patients. So just to give you an idea of what's available here, specific clinic location, patient at certain age range, living in a specific city, have an email, came from a certain referral type of source, seen by a specific provider, or created as a new patient in my database within a certain date range.
Okay.
So typically if you want to send out a thank you letter to new patients or something like that, welcome letter. Down in the second area, I have my patient grouping. Those are the groups that you can create yourself for like battery club and donors and things like that. Oftentimes you can also use this for excluding some of those patients of a certain type, patients with a specific make, model, a manufacturer of hearing aid. Last 8 hertz, this is what we use for targeting patients that have a hearing aid that is 4 years old, and we want them to start thinking about buying a new one.
Sure.
Because that's a revenue opportunity. There's one here identifying patients that we haven't seen since a given date for their hearing test. So if I want to find all the ones that I haven't seen in a year, that would look something like that. So click on execute. So 34 patients I haven't tested in a year that I need to recall. And again, here's my list. Next step. In this case also I have a window letter for annual hearing test reminder. I think January 25th. Okay. So again, it goes out and do a mail merge to all of these patients.
Okay.
With whatever method. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
So those are just some different examples of that.
Yeah, that's good.
And there's some additional fields down here for things like staff appointments, specific types of hearing loss, and so on. So,
okay. Okay.
All right. So fairly flexible, and they can be combined, obviously. So if I wanted to say a last assessment, but it also needs to be specific to a certain clinic. So I only want patient that is seen in my weather field office that I do for the hearing test. So you can combine those.
Okay. Okay.
Right. Any questions?
No, it seems pretty straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice system.
Good.
What about in terms of the actual setup and the back end of the system, the administration elements of it? I'm assuming that users can have restricted access.
Yeah, there's like when this is configured, there's like 20 different access parameters that can be used to control a user's privileges.
Okay.
Everything from can they access the calendar, can they create patients, can they do sales transactions, can they manage pricing and the whole setup down here function, can they get into the marketing module, so that's all controlled on a user by user level.
Okay.
So,
What about if your business is growing and expanding and you need to add new clinics? Is that straightforward, or is that something that has to be done by you?
no, they need to contact us for that.
Okay.
Because also our license module is based. It's a site license.
Sure.
Per clinic, so we need a little bit of control over that.
Sure, I understand. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And you do part-time as well as full-time clinics?
Yes, and then we just prorate it.
Okay. No problem. I think, it's a nice system. As I said, I was speaking to a dispenser earlier today, and they're torn currently between this and Cycle. I'll obviously I'll have a chat with them later on and tell them what I think. But they've been speaking to Unitron. But no, this is good. It seems a bit more flexible than Cycle. There's a couple of points. Certainly the marketing module's more flexible, and also the ability to have custom groups. You can have them in Cycle, but you're limited to a certain amount, which was always a pain.
Yeah,
it was never enough. So that's obviously that's good. So in terms of security and everything else, I assume all data is segregated from shop to shop. If from company to company, I should say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, each company basically has their own virtual server.
Okay.
So it's completely separated.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's great. That's been really, really helpful. I appreciate your time.
Yeah. So, and obviously there's a bunch of reports available, all kind of reports, performance reports, hearing aid analysis reports, financial reports, all that kind of stuff. Statements can be printed,
Okay.
like that, if they're not using QuickBooks. But as you can see, there's some big advantages of using QuickBooks together with this, because it flows automatically to QuickBooks.
Sure. Which version of QuickBooks is it that you're using?
I'm on 2011, but anything 2008 and higher is okay.
What about, I noticed QuickBooks seem to be going into the cloud themselves quite a bit. Will you be accommodating that? Will you develop it around QuickBooks advancements?
On QuickBooks Online Edition, we have a couple of clients that are using it. Personally, I don't like it.
No.
I don't think it's. You first of all, you're gonna miss some functionality. There's certain features that are not available in the online edition. That's in the server or the real edition or whatever it's called.
Okay. Yeah.
So I don't find it to be as foolproof as the real real thing.
Okay.
Basically, I don't think it's ready for prime time.
Sure.
The online edition.
Okay.
I'm sure they will keep pushing that because this thing is going web based.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's a revenue stream for them as well, isn't it? So.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
So when people call us and ask us, can you do it? Yes, we can. We do have people that we've done it with. We also have people that we've done it with that went back to the standard edition. But so we can do it, but we don't like it.
Sure.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay. Trying to think. So this being Java, can it be run on any other device? iPad, for example. iPhone.
No, it currently does not
Okay.
run on that.
Is there any plans to make an iOS version or anything or?
Not in the short term. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
You can run because the report module in BluePrint actually uses a web browser. You can run all the reports on an iPad or something like that.
Okay.
Because it's just using a standard web browser. But BluePrint in itself cannot. Part of it is also that we require as a minimum 1024 768 resolution, and there's very few of those devices that can do that.
Sure.
There's some roundabout way to do it. You can on some of these devices, iPhones, iPads. You can get some of these remote access apps that can allow you to remote access your PC.
Sure.
So if you leave your PC running and you have that app enabled, you can basically access your computer with BluePrint running on it, and then that way access it on your iPad. But it's a roundabout way to do it.
Okay. Okay. Which version of Noah is it? Does it run with Noah 4?
Yeah. The Noah integration only works with Noah 4, and it actually has to be Noah 4.2, which is just the most recent release that just came out a couple of weeks ago.
Okay. Okay.
So,
that's great.
But the upgrade to that is free. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's brilliant. I think you've answered all the questions.
Okay.
Thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Thanks for your time.
All right.
So
I'll
just let us know if there's anything else we can help with. If there's any of the people that you talk to.
Oh, certainly.
That needs an online demo. We can just arrange it, just like you and I had a demo yesterday. So just keep that in mind.
Thank you very much.
I think the folks over at Unitron are getting pretty good at showing this. But in case people want to talk to the real people behind it, we're always available. So.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, that's brilliant.